All right. San Diego is building some tent cities for all of its poor. So I guess they're putting in a lot of money into building some kind of tent structures to take care of all the homeless. And I have the following question. You have all of these cities and municipalities who have lots of things to do. You know, they've got garbage to pick up and crime to fight and everything. So cities are really busy. But these cities, on top of all that busyness they already had, are having the smallish issue of homelessness turn into a gigantic issue. Are the cities qualified to take that on? Maybe not. But what about this? At some level of homelessness, and we've probably achieved that, would it make sense to build what I'll call Poor City? A city that didn't exist before. Let's say you find some place in the world where the land is cheap and the weather is reasonable all year long. So it's probably California sort of weather. Find a place and build a city there that's just for poor people. Then ship the poor people from the various cities where there are homeless everywhere to one place where you can do it right. Because cities are not really qualified to handle this gigantic problem that went from small to big fairly suddenly. But if you had one place where everybody could say, okay, all we need to do is organize a bus trip, and all you homeless people who need a place, we're going to bus you to Poor City, and you're going to maybe learn some stuff, maybe they'll have better services. But at the very least, I would think the economics of centralizing your homelessness situation would be extraordinary. Am I wrong? From a purely economic standpoint, wouldn't it be better to have one poor city so that let's say all of the California cities could ship their poor to that one place for the maximum qualified economical way to handle it, instead of every city trying to reproduce things with limited space and time and resources. So I just put that out there. I think we may be seeing a development of whole new cities and then the second part would be, if you had all this labor that is in these homeless places, could you also deal with their drug addiction, their mental illness in a more effective way because of economies of scale? And here's another problem that nobody talks about. Let me say, this is not my original idea. I don't think the person who gave it to me maybe wants to take credit for it, so I'll hold off on that for now. But if you look at the difficulty in finding a home in, let's say, a Southern California city, Los Angeles, for example, part of that is because there are so many people who have come in through immigration who are just filling up those places. So one of the things that's happening with the homeless is that they're not just people who can't afford homes, but the secondary problem is immigrants who can afford homes. Because if you bring in lots of people who can afford homes at the low end, then the people who used to be able to afford them don't have as many homes. So there's a great deal of competition at the low end, creating more homelessness, not just of the people coming in, but the people they replace by taking up the homes that people who are already here could have used. We don't hear anybody talk about that. All right. I think maybe this will end up being some kind of a solution for urban blight. Maybe it will get us closer to building homes. Somebody says concentration camp. Yeah. Anytime you concentrate people in one place, it's a concentration camp, according to some people. All right.